What has changed in our world? Certainly it's a world nobody could have imagined. Everyone feels something is off. Political sides from both the right and the left seem to have the answer. Whether one side is right or wrong is not the point. The point is that they both agree that America and the world are heading in the wrong direction. And yet we have access to the largest pool of free information, but we are the least informed. We have access to the best education, but education levels continue to decline. All the while, America is losing its position on the world stage. And here we are, watching it happen.
President Biden expected to celebrate the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. Well, Kenneth, let's be honest, right? Most Americans don't have a lot to celebrate right now. We're all still facing inflated consumer prices. Food prices are soaring.
Inflation, besides being a tax on savings, is destroying this country. And yet the attention it gets is nothing compared to the attention received for transgender rights. Families that were just barely scraping by are now resorting to installment plans for basic necessities, such as gasoline and food. The cost of groceries has more than tripled, along with the cost of energy, and experts say there is no end in sight. And yet our rulers continue to print money and rob the empire while it collapses. But do not worry. Many will not see it, as they stay infinitely distracted with their ever-watchful and ever-listening magic box. Never mind the real disaster looming on the horizon. Supply chains breaking down, continued dependency on China, and governments seizing an endless supply of despotic power. The central banks continue to enslave its servants. The ruling class continues as if nothing is happening. While the most desired gift for Christmas of 2022 was cash. People are unfortunately incapable of knowing the difference between life under a central bank and life under a precious metal-backed currency, such as gold. The central bank, often touted by Karl Marx, permits these global governments to print an endless supply of currency that only punishes the middle and lower class. And to further add fuel to the dumpster fire of inflation, economists still cling to their Marx-approved central banks. I think we are beyond the idea of if the currency will collapse, but when will it collapse? And when this occurs, the lower and middle class will pay, not just financially, but with their lives. Kinetic global war is progressively becoming less and less of an idea and drawing closer to being a reality. But fear not, as with every war, the poor will fight it. And while families are unable to pay their bills, feed their children, heat their homes, and put gas in their cars, we have a political element screeching at the top of their lungs for the banning of fossil fuels, when most of the world's, quote, clean energy derives from slave labor and child labor, which the same political element pretends to care about, when we all know they do not. And they are using classes of people, classes they created, as a means of obtaining power. I don't know the complete answer. I don't think anyone does. Prodeo et Patria. Loyal 9 out.